We've walked over to see the folks at Freefall Accessories Incorporated. We're going to have a little bit of a chat here with David. And what do you want to tell us is going on here?
We've got some interesting new products that are trying to keep up with the trends. One of which is a parachute flight data recorder. It is equal to a black box in an aircraft. This particular unit was designed for the U.S. Forest Service. They manufacture their own parachutes, design and manufacture their own parachutes. And they are charged with, they want to know how they're performing, old technology, new technology. The main thing was airspeed. There isn't a product out there that does airspeed. They're currently trying to use GPSs and trying to get ground speed. Bad problems. Happened to come by two or three shows ago, said, hey, I'm looking for this, have you got anything? Finally weeded them out. This was the result. It has a pedostatic tube to get your airspeed, XY, 3-axis accelerometer, 3-axis gyro, compass, temperature and humidity, all stored in a micro SD card. Each jump is stored in a separate file. Rechargeable battery. Battery is good for 8 to 10 hours of hard jumping.
Okay.
So these can be configured to basically any data collection requirement.
Outstanding.
The next cool
That's interesting.
This is an electromechanical pin puller. Its twin brother is currently used in a suborbital recovery rocket, a recoverable rocket. The main goal is to be able to launch payload into a suborbital level where it can be launched on by itself. Rocket comes back down and gets reused. It's a privately funded company. We have 2 previous units of this one, which are a little bit larger, that actually were into space, and their landings were a little bit rough. But this is responsible for deploying the recovery canopies, so it's a very important task that this has. The trick is their parachute keep exploding, so it's good business for us. The really last cool and groovy item is what we call a pneumatic timer. This again is a Forest Service specifically designed for product. Their smoke jumpers, when they leave out with 2 bundles of equipment. One's got their chainsaws, gasoline, stuff. The other one has their water, their food, their medical supplies. These guys are left in the woods in the middle of nowhere, and they've got to trek their way out. In order for the canopies, the cargo bundles not to float away, they deploy the canopies very, very low, static line. Pilots don't like that. So the pilots are saying, hey, can we get up a little higher? Well, now we're static line canopies out, it's drifting. So the Forest Service is looking for a method to delay the canopy inflation till the last minute.
So it looks like a timing device.
Yep, and no pyrotechnics, no oils. This needs to be packed up inside the parachute for unlimited amounts of time, variable amounts of set time that I can set these things to. They have been in trial processes. Kovalicki was just saying that a Forest Service gentleman was saying they've done I think 150 drops on these things.
Being tested,
yeah. They're trying to prove the process to the Forest Service, so it's kind of an ongoing process. But again, this was a custom-made product. This solved the solution, solved the problem, a solution for the problem.
Okay.
So a lot of these components are basically what we're in a position of, I want to hear problems, so we can come up with their solutions.
Okay. And how does that work?
This basically works, it's a pneumatic release timer. There is a plunger inside of here with a controlled orifice. So on the Forest Service, this line reefs the canopy shut. When it leaves, the static line pulls the ripcord, and the timer slowly comes down, and when it reaches the right amount of time, it releases. Quick and dirty, very simple. Like I said, stainless steel, aluminum, and Teflon. It can sit up in a tree for 50 years, and they pull it down.
It still works.
It's still good to go.
Outstanding.
Very, very proud of this kind of technique.
Great. Well, before we leave you, is there anything you want to share with any of your potential customers out there?
Come see us. If you have a problem, we'd love to hear from you. Don't be afraid if you have needs. We have solutions if you have needs. So
I can see that from everything, and of course the interviews we've done over the years. So the folks at Freefall Accessories Inc. catch you in the next booth.